Professor Tavis Potts. I'm Chair of Sustainable Development, and recently I've just become the Dean for Environmental Sustainability at the university. So we've worked really closely with NESCAN over the past, including when they were first set up recently, but before that as well for Aberdeen Climate Action. But we've worked with them on a project which is about how we empower communities for a just transition in the northeast of Scotland. And that project went through 3 different phases where we engaged with a whole range of community groups about their vision for net zero and how to get there in the northeast, what the issues are that were important to communities, and then how we could collectively and working hand in glove with NESCAN to support them on that journey. And so we're now at that point now where we've done that work, and we're now looking at the next steps going forward. One of the key things we've found that communities already have a really good understanding of what net zero means to them. And really what the challenge was is how we actually support and empower and build the capacity of communities to deliver on this vision. For example, we need to really bring out what the community voice is, and so we're working with NESCAN, for example, on developing a series of climate assemblies in the region, because we really feel that it's those voices of the community, particularly at the local level or the village or the community level, that are critically important in this debate. That's one thing we found. Another thing we found was that the debates over the future of the northeast and Scotland in general were very heavily dominated by the energy industry. And we really need to find and empower those community voices to what their vision is, what the opportunities are for them in net zero, whether this is green jobs, whether this is beautiful green spaces to live in, whether this is training and skills development across the economy, not just in, but including also the energy industry. The third thing that we found was that we really need to invest in developing the capabilities and the skills of communities. This is whether it's through employment, training, investment and infrastructure, so communities can actually own and develop the infrastructure that they need to get to net zero. And we see NESCAN as critical in every step of this process to get there. Net zero, the future of our planet, the future of our societies, is an inherently political question. It's not something that's neutral or passive, and communities, businesses, governments all have to have dialogue and discussion about getting to that future and charting what they need to have. So we completely support activism in communities to get to that, to articulate what that journey is and what the mission is and what the vision is. So we absolutely support that. We need to have a mix of and support activism and capacity in communities, but also support that with real, visible, practical action. This has to be a democratic, transparent and inclusive process. A just transition really has to share the benefits and the challenges widely. It can't just benefit a certain group of society. So that is an inherently political question, and we support this, and we encourage these discussions to have. So there's a huge amount of work and dialogue and discussion to be had with all the communities of the northeast about their future, about how we get to net zero, whether that's in new jobs, new infrastructure, communities owning their renewable energy sources or their active travel sites. Communities have a real role to play in this. We need to make this open and inclusive and deliberative, and I see NESCAN as a pivotal role in servicing and working with those communities, and I see our institution, the University of Aberdeen, having a key role in providing that pool of talent, providing that research and those ideas to help support communities achieve real action to protect the planet.